So China is an amazing country, and if you ever get the chance to go there, you end up there late January, early February, you might be there during Chinese New Year. It's an experience you won't ever fucking forget. Chinese New Year usually goes about 2 weeks total, and you feel like you in a fucking war zone for like 2 weeks straight when this shit going on, because there's so many motherfucking fireworks going off all times, all hours of the day, 3, 4 in the morning. It's kind of like a combination of like Christmas in America plus Thanksgiving, maybe plus another holiday combined. It's a big fucking deal. It's the biggest migratory fucking event anywhere in the world, because every year when they have this, so many people is traveling from so many different places to get back to their hometown so they can be with their family for Chinese New Year. It's kind of a beautiful thing though. It's too bad we don't have something like this here. And tonight I just want to talk about the Chinese New Year from hell, because I had a fucking terrible experience back in 2013 when I had to go to this small ass town. And let me give you some background on how all this fucking transpired, how I ended up in this situation. Some of you might remember a few months ago me telling a story about how I was running an English school for a hot minute. I was out hitting the bar scene one night, I meet this girl, she real smart, family real wealthy, she a lawyer. She got her own English school, and next thing you know, she asked me to run the motherfucker for her. And I did, blood, and it was cool. And it was a beautiful fucking thing when I was running the show, man. I was good to everybody that worked there and shit. And everybody was happy as hell when I was running that spot. But we needed new teachers, we needed new foreign teachers. So we looking for new teachers and shit. And you kind of limited, blood, for finding people that's native English speakers when you out there. We found this guy, he applied, his name was Peter, he was from Holland. And I got bad vibes off him immediately. But he looked the part and he did what he needed to do to get that job. His demo wasn't very fucking good, but it was good enough, so the company and I, we decided we was gonna take him on, we was gonna give him a shot. And that turned out to be a big fucking mistake, because he was only there for like a week or two, he was already pissing everybody off. And then one day he comes in my office and he decides he's gonna be a little tattletale and telling these fucking teachers. There were these 2 English teachers that worked at our company, and they was going out in the staircase and they was blazing up some greens on their brakes and shit. And most teachers did that shit anyway. Nobody gave a fuck except him. I'm sure the local staff, they would have gave a fuck if they knew what we was doing, blood, but it's like 2 separate worlds. And these fools go party on their weekends, they need to recover, so they go hit up that staircase and start feeling better so they can teach. I guess one day Peter's little bitch ass decides he's gonna take the stairs instead of take the elevator like every other motherfucker does. So he walked up the stairs, he catches those 2 smoking, blood. He goes straight in my office and tells on blood. He in there demanding they get fucking fired, this and that. And it's so goddamn hard to find fucking native speakers. And I'm just looking at this motherfucker. He just started there and he's trying to get these people fired. But not only is he trying to get him fired, blood, he's trying to get him fucking fired in a foreign country. There's no telling what can happen to these motherfuckers, but he's sitting there demanding I call the police and every fucking thing. And I just heard enough out this motherfucker. Blood, this motherfucker was making my blood fucking boil, blood. I had enough. So I looked at Peter, I said, blood, get your shit and get the fuck out. You fucking fired, you little tattletale bitch. Yeah, I fucking fired him on the spot. And then this motherfucker starts getting all sassy with me. I guess that shit took him off guard or something like that. And he starts getting real mouthy in that office. I had no choice, but I had to fucking escort him out. I fucking strong on a little bitch ass motherfucker. I fucking forced his ass in the elevator. I fucking shoved him out there, fucking sent his ass on his way. Turned out to be a big fucking mistake though. That I didn't let him get his shit, because that's why the little bitch came crawling back. He made a big fucking campaign to get in contact with the lady that owned that fucking school, let her know his side of the story. And eventually he did too, and it was all because he said he needed to get in there and get his shit back. But he told her everything. And needless to say, she saw that situation in a whole different fucking light than the way I saw it. And we ended up having a company meeting because of that shit. I was fucking mad, blood. This little bitch ass motherfucker coming in my world just fucking my shit up like this. Like I said, I don't tell on people, blood. But I let every motherfucking school in that town know this fool was no good. Do not hire this motherfucker. Yeah, I let them know, blood. Talk to them other schools. I'm like, do not hire Peter. He is a fucking troublemaker. You bring that fool in your company, you're gonna have problems. And I blacklisted his ass, and nobody would hire that fool in that town from there on. So we got this company meeting, and it just goes from fucking terrible to like just unfucking believably bad. Because everything comes out in this fucking meeting. And it was a lot of shit that got me in trouble. There was this ugly ass old lady, and she wasn't even an accountant, she was just like a bookmaker, whatever the fuck you call them. She just did their books. And this bitch hated my fucking guts, blood, and I had no idea. And she blindsided me. I couldn't understand half the shit this fucking bitch was saying. I don't know what town she's from, but her Chinese is just so guttural, blood. You can't even understand her stupid ass. But she had it in for me, blood. She was letting that boss know every fucking thing. Actually, come to think of it, though, I could see why they had a little bit of fucking resentment towards me and shit. I mean, blood, I was like a chain smoker, and none of them women fucking smoked that office, blood. But I would. I fucking smoked that office up. That's the thing with fucking China, though, man. Most of the men there smoke, but none of the women hardly ever smoke. I could count on like 2 hands all the women I've ever known in China that smoke cigarettes, but it ain't fucking many. And I guess a lot of them wasn't liking the fact that I was fucking tacking out the entire office all fucking day with them Chinese cigarettes. And I guess they started harboring a lot of resentment towards me. There were other things too, though. So I had a lot of relationships with the teachers that was coming in there, the teachers' assistants. They was all these Chinese girls. They were all about 21, 22. They fresh out of college. They all speak real good English. And a lot of them is fine as hell too, blood. And they meet me. I might be a little strange looking to them, but a lot of them really never knew foreigners before. And they see I'm real good with these kids and shit. I'm funny. And they got me in a position of authority. They got me running this whole fucking school. For all they know, I'm the head top motherfucker of the whole place. They never even met the owner before. And some of these girls will fall in love with me, blood. And it ain't my fault what fucking happened, blood. I ain't someone to turn down a free fucking meal. And these girls was beautiful, man. They was all amazing. They was all special in their own fucking way. And I loved all of them, blood. But I was also having this on-off again relationship with that lady that owned the fucking school. So when she found this out, she took it real fucking personally, and I think she felt humiliated or something by it. I could figure out before this meeting was over where this is going to end. It's going to end with me not working there anymore. And it's fucking all good. But they all teaming up on me. But then there was this tall girl, blood, that I had like a relationship with. And this tall girl, blood, like, I knew she was kind of infatuated with me and shit, because she come watch me on her days off and shit like that, watch me teaching kids and stuff like that. But she decided she's going to go out there and stand up for me. And it just backfired on her. Because at the end of this meeting, there was 2 people they let go. It was me and her. And she was like fucking devastated by it, blood. It was like the end of the world to this fucking girl, man. It wasn't that big a deal to me. But that's the thing with China, blood. You a native English speaker, man. You worth gold, blood. You lose one job, you find another the next fucking day. They're never an issue because I always took care of my own visas too, so I didn't need them for anything. And now that I look back at this shit years later, in hindsight, I can kind of tell that girl was trying to emotionally manipulate me at this point, because she was trying to turn this whole thing about getting fired into something else. A big part of this scheme this girl had going was to get me to go with her for Chinese New Year, to go meet her family. And I didn't understand then why it was such a big fucking deal for me to go with her, but I'd find out later. If you accompany a young lady to her family, to her house, you a stranger or whatever, you a guy, that means you're supposed to marry him, blood. It means it's set in stone too. You don't go to the girl's hometown, you don't meet her family, not unless you plan on marrying her, blood. I had no fucking idea about any of this. It was all gonna come up later, believe me. Anyway, like I was saying, she giving me all this shit about getting fired, how it's like the end of her life. She talked about she thinking she gonna kill herself, how she disgraced her family, she ain't gonna be able to help out her family. She got all these brothers and sisters and shit that need her help. And somehow the fucking solution to everything, the cure to all her fucking problems, is me going back with her to her hometown for Chinese New Year. And she just keeps doing this shit, keeps pressuring me, blood. It wasn't that big a fucking deal to me anyway, cause like, usually for Chinese New Year, there ain't a lot of work anyway. Everybody going back to their hometown. And if there is work, it's just kids wanting to cram for some tests, and that shit sucks. So basically, you can just party up for Chinese New Year. You can try to make a quick hustle, make a lot of money. Either way, I didn't really have no plans going on. And like I said, she just really putting the pressure on me. And I'm starting to think about it now. I mean, I just picked up, of course, pretty decent greens and shit like that. I was pretty well supplied, so like, I started thinking about it. I was like, fuck it, why not? It might be an interesting experience going to this girl's hometown, some small town in Western China. I had never been to Western China before, and most people don't ever go there. When you think of China, it's Eastern China. That's where like almost every fucking thing is, but the West is really poor. I mean, the ancient capital out there, Xi'an and shit like that, you go real far west where the Muslims are near the border and shit like that, but most of them towns out there, blood, they fucking really poor, blood. They real fucking poor. Even though I've been living in China for a long fucking time, when I eventually decided to go with her and experience Western China, It was like culture shock all over again because I was living in a really nice area. I mean, honestly, these days, you in a city like Shanghai or fucking Hangzhou, your quality of life is just as good, if not better than in America, blood, for real. It really fucking is. You're definitely safer there. You definitely get better food. But Western China, completely fucking different, blood. Completely fucking different. It's like you going into a different country. You stepping back in time like 20 fucking years. It's crazy. Because she talked me into going at such a late minute, we can't take the regular modes of transportation. We can't take the fast train to get west. We can't even take the regular train. We take the fucking ghetto train. It's the only one they still tickets available. We actually lucky we even got them because like I say, it's a big travel season, biggest in the world in China when everybody go out Chinese New Year. If you ever take the fucking fast train in China or regular one, regular bus, anything like that, they nice, blood. They're just as good as anything you'll get in America. They're probably nicer, especially the fast train. We ain't got that in America. But it's good traveling. Nah, blood, this wasn't. This was like the cheapest way possible. It's like the brokest, poorest motherfuckers is taking this shit. They motherfucking livestock on that train with you, blood. There's fucking chickens flapping around, shit like that. This dude sitting next to me, I don't know what the fuck he got going. He got some major sinus issues, some fucking serious cold going, blood. He just hocking up lookies that whole fucking ride, blood. And it was a long fucking ride. It took fucking days, blood, on that fucking train. There was no fucking planes, nothing, blood. It was the cheap ass old fucking train, and that was it. And like I said, we was lucky to even fucking find that. And the bathrooms was hella fucking nasty on this thing. So I'm thinking we about to hit a train station. I could go in there because I need to take a shit. And I figure it might be a little bit, I figure I waited out, see what my chances were inside the public bathrooms in the train station. It was one of the nastiest fucking things I ever seen. It's definitely the nastiest thing I ever seen in a fucking public restroom. It wasn't even toilets in there, blood. There was like a big concrete fucking trench. And you enter the men's restroom, blood, and there are a couple piss spots, and then just this big giant trench, and you're supposed to climb up on it and hunch over it and just squat down, take a shit into this hole. I'm trying to explain this better, blood. I'm trying to think of a better way of explaining this. It's like they dug a ditch and put concrete in it, and everybody leans over this ditch and just shits it into a big giant mound of shit. At the end of the day, some guy shovels it out or something. But it's like really high volume, a lot of people coming in and out, a lot of people using that bathroom, blood. And I'm guessing it's just been a whole day of motherfuckers taking shit in this trench, but it was like a giant mound of shit. Maybe I shouldn't explain this any fucking more, but let me put it this way. If you fell in that motherfucker, there's a good chance you could drown inside of that shit, blood. That's how fucking much shit was in there. It was so fucking nasty. So needless to say, I just fucking held it until we got back on the train because not only that, you don't get no fucking privacy either. And I'm the only foreigner that's ever probably been there. So everybody gonna be looking at me taking a shit. I'm fucking for reals, blood. Her hometown ended up being so goddamn remote. Even the Japanese never went there in World War II, blood. I was like the first fucking foreigner probably been there since the Mongolians and shit, blood, for real. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up for right now because it's probably already over 10 minutes while I've been talking. And I'm trying to post this on TikTok, some other spots and shit like that. So I'm gonna make this a 2 or 3 parter, I think. And hopefully by tomorrow I'll have part 2 out. But if you get a chance, check out my YouTube, Daryl Sherms. There are a lot of other stories like this on here. There are tons of them, blood. And thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow.